is Paul Johnson, the CEO of Power Metal Resources. Thank you very much for joining us today, Paul. I trust you are well, but what's your opinion currently on the market conditions? A little bit tough out there, I think.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It has been for a while, actually. And I'm an old campaigner, been investing for over 30 years and on AIM for over 25. Natural resources for 10 or 15 now. I'm kind of used to this volatility that you get in the market. It is the ingredient that you need as an investor to make serious returns. If everything was flatlining or creeping up 2% a year, you wouldn't make much. So if you can weather the storm, then you're in a good position, I think, in the natural resource space to do really well. But right now, it feels a bit painful.
Yes, indeed, it does feel very painful. But of course, Power very active, aren't they, on the ground? And just
Yeah.
recently, there was some news from, of course, the exploration drilling that's going on at Molopo Farms in Botswana, your big exploration campaign. Visible sulfides. So that's an early, very promising sign, is it, Paul?
Yeah, it certainly is. I like to think that we would hopefully mirror our investors out there. So resource investors are stoical. I've got some guts about them and determination. And I see a lot of companies around that are not doing very much. And I never wanted to be one of those that just sat there waiting for good times to come around in the market. So we've been driving forward, 2,600-meter program, which is actually about to go up, which is quite a big one in itself for a junior. Most of them don't do much at all. And we've the first hole we found layered pyroxenites, which is and it was the pyroxenites where the nickel was found in the first hole in this conductor back in 2021. So that was a positive outcome for us. Visible mineralization, obviously that's a great thing as well, and that's led us to extend the depth of the hole down to minimum 650 meters, which is what we're doing now, and also to add to that, to do another hole that we hadn't planned for, which is to the north of the original hole that discovered the nickel, where we're going down to have a look at up dip, as they call it, shallower potential mineralization, which is always useful, and it helps us to see the extent of the system that we're dealing with. So yeah, we're really pleased with hole one. Normally with these campaigns, you expect to do 2 or 3 holes before you get a sense or sense of real optimism, and we're very optimistic.
Okay, so you're adapting the program then as you go to depending on what you see and what the geologists think is the best way to understand the what potentially could be down there.
Yeah, we're quite flexible on that. I know every decision that you take and every announcement you put out gets scrutinized in today's world. And I'm sure there's a world coming in the junior resource space where shares just go up on great news, and they go up a lot. No one really looks at it in too much detail. But we're kind of comfortable in our own skin with this, when we're flexible with this program. So you're going to see, I imagine, a few switches and changes and that kind of thing as we go forward.
Okay, well, just on that then, on share prices going up, where do you think Power's place is in the market at the moment, given the market conditions, given the share price there? Do you think if you do release some stonking news from the drilling that's going on down in Molopo, do you think it might not get the reaction or the recognition that it needs?
Yeah, markets, especially junior resources, are perilously poor at valuing news on a day-to-day basis. But generally speaking, over the slightly longer term, I'm not talking about years or months, but in some cases days and weeks, they tend to catch up on things. And that's a frustration when you run a company, when you put out news announcements that you think that is meaningful and you don't get much of a reaction. But you've got to deal with that. And as I say, it's about confidence in the company. As a business, we are broadly spread, we're diverse. No one project is the end of this business, whether or is the only company maker, as it were, which is important for us. And it gives us the ability, the foundation to go ahead and do these big programs and spend money. We have always been with Molopo particularly acutely interested. And now with this conditional transaction where we can increase our stake to circa 88%, subject to the local regulatory approvals, and all the documentation is in. It is a pretty major interest for us. I think a major nickel discovery will change a company no matter what the market conditions. And that's a simple fact. That's been proven by history with multiple examples. So you can have good markets, bad markets, amazing markets, whatever you want. You make a major nickel discovery, you will perform tremendously well. And that's what we're targeting.
Okay. And do you think you'll be able to keep the market updated with regular news? I know when we spoke before, you said as you approach the sort of target zone, you might have to be not as clear perhaps or on what might be going on because of course it is market sensitive. So what I know you will probably hope to keep the market updated, but what's it looking like from a news flow point of view?
Oh, I tell you, this business, it's a difficult one. You got to look at it from a human dimension, especially in the conditions today. I know I see a lot of announcements around me where, as an investor, I think that's there to just prop up the market and to keep people engaged. And I don't really want to do that. I want to be, as a business, again, more confident in our operational plans and implementation of day-to-day exploration programs. So where we think something is significant, where we think something is properly material, we will put it out. If it's just mundane day-to-day stuff, we're not going to try and spoof the market to keep things going. We are being bold and brave with the 2,600 meter plus program, targeting deeply undercover conductors. And let's make no mistake about that. And if we're successful in our campaign, then the returns for the shareholders should be quite dramatic. But there is a risk that we won't be with all these programs that we're undertaking around the business. But we're bold, we're brave. We believe our investors are too, otherwise they wouldn't have bought our stock. I've tried to reduce the risk across the business by having a diverse multi-project approach. We have many district scale potential opportunities that we control within our business. And for us, it's a supremely exciting time with Molopo. And with other elements of our business, both with exploration and corporate work.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Paul Johnson, the CEO of Power Metal Resources, for your time today.
It's an absolute pleasure, Mark. Speak to you again soon.
Okay.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stopboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.